Hello, welcome again to another session of the Dr. Dahan Live Show. How to generate medical referrals. Whether your office is integrated or not integrated, whether you're a solo practitioner or you have a clinic which is rendering diversified services, how do you generate referrals from other doctors? It's a question. Now, there are many doctors out there who don't care about referrals. They figure, you know what, I'll do my own marketing. I'll get as many doctors, friends, to perhaps work with me, but I don't need their referrals. I'll generate my own referrals, and then also what I'll do is I'll be sure to, at all times, market enough so I can get new patients. The truth is, it is so vital and necessary to have referrals from the general medical community. You see, the referrals you're getting from the marketing is only based on the marketing dollars that you're spending. As long as the marketing is working and you're spending money, you'll get some referrals. You might even get a lot, but it's based on the money that you're spending. Now the question is this: what if you were able to get referrals from the general medical community all around you and get enough referrals at all times that will grow your business? And there could be an interrelationship with these doctors. You could work in the medical community. Among medical doctors, you should know, and in the medical community, this is so common. This is how all practices grow. So what do we have to do? What are the steps? I've pretty much created about 16 steps, which I think you could take easily, inexpensively, and so wonderfully successful in order to set up this concept. So let's go by the first thing first so that you can understand the step to take. And I'll make sure that the captions are written on the video so that you can review them later. First and foremost, create a brochure about your clinic. It should have information about your website and your description of services that you render, about the contact information, who to call. It should have some pictures. It should be professionally done. Nice laid out pictures on diversifying some of the things that you do, but giving a general overview of what you've got. Not only should it be pretty and professional, but it should be something which is classy. It should have taste to it. It should be elegant. You should print it on nice paper. Don't be cheap on that. This isn't the time to do that. You want to show that you are a great clinic and you render the best services. So you want to make sure that you can please those doctors and that all type of referrals can be sent to your office. Make some nice pictures. Spend a little bit more money on that. But have something that you're totally pleased with and something that you'll be proud to show to everyone. And by the way, those clinic brochures can also be posted in your front desk at the reception room for people to take and give to others. Make sure that all the information is thorough. That's the first thing. Number two, of course, by now you should have a business card. But make sure that the business card is also complementing what you have in your brochure. The information should match. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention also to the typos. Make sure that all that information is appropriate. In the back of the business card, if you wish, my recommendation would be for you to put a nice quote, something which uplifts the person who would read it. It would be something that people would take, look at it, and appreciate the fact that you've spent the time doing such a thing. Third thing is create a prescription pad. A simple prescription pad, it doesn't have to be too wide, with most of the services that you render. Make it so that the doctor has the ease of putting their name and their signature on it, the type of services that they're requesting from you, the amount of time, and perhaps just a brief overview of what's going on with the patient. Make it simple. By having the prescription pad in their drawers, the doctor will be able to make it easier on himself or herself to send you referrals. This will make it so simple for him that he will realize that, you know what, this doctor is a great doctor, I've gotten great results, and it's so easy to make that referrals. So I would strongly suggest you distribute a prescription pad. You should also have perhaps some pens with your name on it. Things that are classy. Don't go with these crooked pens and things that are cheap and, just take the least amount of money. No. This is about impressing the clinic that you're trying to get referrals from. There should be something that you yourself would not only believe is a representative of your clinic, but representative of the type of services that you render. It's quite important that you make this very, very, very elegant. It should be well done. It should be professional. Then what you do is this. Take a piece of paper, go by the Google, and then on Google, trace a radius, a reasonable radius, depending on where you're located. If you're in a big city, a couple miles probably is about the most that you would get. But if you're in a smaller town, you might go 15, 20, or perhaps even 50 miles radius from your office. Create a radius on Google and request that you find all of the doctors that are listed within that radius. So let's say it's 30 miles, all the doctors. And you could choose by disciplines. It could be orthopedic surgeons, it could be neurologists, it could be family practitioners, it could be pain specialists. Whatever referrals that you feel there would be competent enough to send you to your office any type of services that you're rendering. So now you have that radius, and Google, this is a miracle for us. It's such a blessing that we have this tool today. We'll be able to give you a list of all the doctors that are listed in that area. It is pretty accurate, and it's close to probably 80 or 90% of all the doctors that are there. Because if they are listed anywhere at all, they should be on Google. And most likely today, Google is continuously working their algorithm. So most likely you'll have all the information that you need right there. Then what you do is this. Collect the names, the phone number, the addresses, the website, and the hours of operation from the clinic. All of those details matter. Create an Excel sheet. In your Excel sheet, you'll have all that information ready at your fingertips so that you'll know their names. By knowing their information, their email, their website, and all of that, you'll be able to review them. I would strongly suggest, because this is so critical to your potential referrals, you spend a few minutes, and let's say you've gotten 50 offices that fit in that radius. I would go through each and every one of them and look at their website, look at who they are, find out a little bit about them, have a little bit of a history about their clinic, what it is that they do, the services that they render, their hours of operation, the distance between your office and their office. Get as much as you can from them. Do a little bit of investigation. This will go a long way because it will give you a great idea of who they are and what they do. Next thing to do, once you have their names, then find them on social media. Find that doctor. Perhaps they have a page on social media, Facebook page. They may have a LinkedIn account. They may have a Twitter account. They may have an account somewhere on Instagram. Any of these things, any of these social media platforms are necessary for you to communicate with them, befriend them. So you'll see some of the information they have. So you'll see everything that they do and everything that they're offering. This will give you a much greater opportunity to understand who they are and what they have. By knowing this, you'll be able to communicate with them. Not only that, by being able to work with them on a social level, perhaps seeing what they're interested in. For instance, one of my clients was interested in working with a doctor who has been phenomenally successful in his community. He was an orthopedic surgeon and the only one in town. He realized that from his pictures, this doctor, interestingly enough, was an avid fisherman. He went fishing on a regular basis. So what he did, he found out some of the best places they would go fishing, and then he followed him on Facebook and found out that on that upcoming event, which was I think 3-4 weeks in the future, was going to be an event that he was going to attend. He made a point to be there with his fishing rod, and he befriended this doctor. Within a matter of a few hours of having these conversations, the two became friends. Today, my client gets between 15 to 18 referrals every single week from that doctor. That's all it takes. It's a matter of befriending them. And with Facebook and all of these other social media platforms today, these mediums they're available for us to use if you use them properly. Now, once you've made that information clear and you put that on your spreadsheet, go ahead and send them an email. A nice email. It shouldn't be something that becomes like a sales pitch. I need referrals, please send them to me. That's not the way it works. Hello, my name is Dr. Dahan. I'm in practice within approximately 3 to 4 miles from your office. I have a large diversified practice. These are the services that I render, and I would love to be able to work with you. At times, send you patients. Perhaps if you have a need to have some of your patients come to me, I'd love to be able to discuss this with you. A nice simple email with an attachment to your clinic and your website so that they can click on it and see it. Next thing that you do is you send the similar information by USPS, by the United States Postal Service, and insert the business card in there and a copy of the brochure that we discussed. Send it to them. Hello, how are you? I just want to introduce myself. I've been in practice for 9 years. This is what I do. This is what I have. Make it personalized and make sure that it's hand-signed so that they can see that it was directed to them. On the front of the envelope, you can write confidential and make sure that it goes directly to that doctor. You'll have that information because you got it all in there. Then what you do is choose a person in your office, someone who is the most knowledgeable in marketing, or at least the most trainable, someone who's pleasant, someone who has a demeanor and a professional attitude, someone who's also verbal, who's able to speak eloquently, and who has speech ease so that they can speak with the doctor and the staff. Then what you do is now, at this point, decide and create a marketing schedule so that twice per month, your office is going to visit that doctor. Why twice per month? Well, it's been seen that if you go too many times, then the doctor is going to be annoyed. And if you don't come early enough, or if you haven't come on a regular basis, they're going to forget who you are. So twice per month is a good time. It seems to be something that most people respect and something that they will appreciate. Once they come, once you visit, once your marketing person, your representative, goes to visit them, make sure that they bring some kind of gift. Again, I would take with them again one more business card, another brochure, perhaps the pen, and perhaps something personalized. Maybe like a box of cookies, homemade cookies, or some chocolate. Something that the staff can look at and say, thank you very much, we really appreciate that. People always appreciate when you bring them a gift. They can't refuse that. Now, if you just come in and say, I want to speak with the doctor, most likely you're a salesperson or you're soliciting for some type of services, and they're not going to meet with you. But if you come in and bring your president and say, here, this is for you and your staff, I would love to be able to, at one point in time, perhaps meet. It's more than pleasant, more than appropriate, and certainly very kind of you. Something that they'll remember. Try to get to know also the person in the front reception room. Find out also if that person is the office manager. Often before you get to the doctor, you'll have to go through the office manager, and from that, to get to the office manager, you may have to go before that to the receptionist. So those are the steps. Receptionist will lead you to the office manager. Office manager will try to get you an appointment with the doctor. To try to get to the doctor right away, it's highly unlikely, and it's a long shot, so I wouldn't try it. Unless you've met them, as I said, part of the expedition that you had from using social media. In the meantime, now that you've met the front desk person and you become friendly with them, take their name. Make sure you remember their name. Have a short conversation with them. Something like, what is it that you do? Oh, my goodness. So you are the office manager also? Oh, no, you're the front desk manager. Wow, how long have you been here? Find out a bit of information. Find out, if you can, find out also some personal information. You just heard that the person's daughter just had a baby. She now became a grandmother. These are important information because that's what bases the relationship for you to be able to communicate and follow through on a regular basis. Write down that information as you walk away, because after going through the 20, 30, 40, 50 offices that you're going to contact, you're going to forget that information. Things are going to get somewhat frazzled, and you won't be able to remember all of those things. Then, as you walk away, go ahead and take that email address. Make sure that the email address that you have now from that office matches the one that was given on the website. You can imagine that the one given on the website may not be the correct one, maybe an old one, may not have been updated, or it may be one that is general to the clinic but not specific to that front desk. And she may give you a better or greater or more attainable email address that you're going to want to use. Then you just wait and see when the first referral comes in. You should get a referral approximately usually within, I would say, anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks for the first referral. When that first referral comes in, here's where it's important. Make sure that you send a thank you letter immediately. The thank you letter should say thank you for the patient, should mention the name of the patient, the diagnosis for which they came for, the treatment protocols that you're, as a prognosis that you're anticipating to treat the patient for, and the time that it's going to take you. Give that general information and follow through. Let them know that you appreciate the referrals. Then wait 2 to 3 weeks and then send out a follow-up. Mrs. Johnson came to our office. We appreciate the referral that you've sent us. We want to make sure that you realize that the services that we've been rendering have been helpful and beneficial. This is the now current symptoms of the patient. We recommend another couple of weeks with the treatment. Let them know what it is that you're doing. Give them some update. That information is critical to the doctor. He will appreciate the fact that you're following up on his patient. Also appreciate the fact that you followed up with him so he can keep his records. And then remember, those patients to them are worth a ton of gold. These patients may have been with the doctors for years. Obviously, irrespective of what you hear from the patient about that doctor, always be polite, be nice, be professional, and be extremely focused on the patient's needs. Not so much so what you think about the distance and this and that. Absolutely not. Do not, under any circumstances, irrespective, regardless of what you want, do not ever take that patient away from that doctor and take them for yourself or ask them to give up the care from their other people, from the other professionals. That is unethical. That is not the right thing to do. And you could get in trouble doing this because if, God forbid, let's say the patient has a condition that this doctor has been treating them for many years, and now you change the treatment protocol and the patient does not get better on this, or God forbid get worse, how would you feel about that? So it's not the right thing to do. Besides, you're trying to base a relationship there and create that relationship to grow, not so much taken away from the patient or the doctor from that matter. All right, so the other thing then is make sure that once you've sent them that information, follow up within a couple of weeks after that. And then after this has been done a few times, let's say 2-3 months, and now your comfort level is better, you have some communication, and you're getting a couple referrals here and there with the doctor, invite the doctor to have lunch. This is a time when you become a little more personal. You call that office and say, I would like to speak to Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips gets on the phone and you tell them who you are, gets on the phone and say, my name is Dr. Doe. I have been receiving referrals from your office for the last several weeks. I really appreciate that. And I was wondering if you would be kind enough to allow me to have lunch with you. I'd love to buy you lunch, perhaps at a time that's most convenient for you. Before you call and make that appointment, here's a tip of what you could do. Look up that restaurant that is closest to his office. Look it up on Google. Find out somewhere where it's close enough. Why? Because you want to make sure that you could take him to a place which is very close to his office that is not going to inconvenience him. Don't take that doctor 45-minute drive to another restaurant because you think it's such a great place. No. Unless the doctor says, yeah, sure, let's have dinner together at a specific place, that is not what you want. If you're going to have lunch with them, it's a short period of time. There's not much time in between all of this. Make sure that you drive away to the closest place. And you could say, I've already made reservation at this close restaurant. It's about 1.5 miles away from your office, and I would love to be able to take you there. I think we could appreciate that. Once you've done this, then you keep that relationship going. And of course, with the social media and everything else, you keep it up. I suggest one more point. Once or twice per year, send a present, something that makes the doctor know that you care for them. a nice pen, something which is reasonable. You don't want to spend too much money, but at the same time, you want it to be professional, something that they would use. And I hope that by doing this, you'll have a much greater relationship with the various clinics around your area and get more and more referrals. That is my recommendation, and I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. You're welcome to call me. I would love to hear your comments. If you type them in the box below, you can type any comments that you wish, and I'll be sure to answer them. I promise you that I will answer them. You can also call me at 888-67-DAHAN, 888-673-2426. You're welcome to call. You're also welcome to email me at drdahan@dahanlive.com, and I'll be sure to answer your questions. I thank you very much, and I appreciate it. God bless you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell to get my latest update.